of r and theta, and we arrived at a formula for field at point B. How did we arrive this formula at point B? I think quick way, we resolve this dipole moment into two components. One component we can call as a radial component, and other we can call as a perpendicular component. And we applied the formula for radial component, calculated ER, radial component of the field at point B. And using this component, we applied the formula for field on the equatorial axis, and we calculated tangential component. Resultant is sum of those two. This was the expression. And we could also find direction, tangential component, radial component, and the resultant also will make some angle alpha here. And we can find the angle, the alpha also, the resultant will make with the radial vector, and alpha will be equal to tan theta by 2. So let's take example. Suppose we take a case, let's take a point B. This point B makes an angle of 45 degrees with the direction of the dipole. Can you guess roughly what will be the direction of field with respect to the direction of dipole? So if theta is 45 degree, can we approximately calculate what angle this resultant vector will make with the direction of dipole? How would you guess that number? Because sometimes the question we need to approximate the value. How would you guess that one? All you need to do, theta is 45. I need to find the value of alpha. If I get an idea of alpha, I can figure out what angle the resultant vector will make, resultant field vector. So tan alpha, we know tan alpha is half of tan theta. Since theta is equal to 45 degree, it will be 1 by 2. And tangent alpha, when it is 1 by 2, it means alpha is less than 30 degree. If alpha is less than 30 degree, the angle the resultant field will make with the dipole will be less than 75. Angle will be less than 75 degree. So what it means, for this angle, for what angle, for field to become vertical, theta need to increase even further. For field angle, this to become 90 degree, what has to happen? Theta has to be even greater than 45 degree. Can we find what is the value of theta which makes the field vertical? Sin theta such the field is perpendicular to the dipole or field is vertical. That also not too difficult. We can calculate. If field has to become vertical, theta plus alpha has to be equal to pi by 2. Or tangent of pi by 2 has to be equal to tangent of alpha plus theta. So which is tangent of alpha plus theta is tan alpha plus tan theta divided by 1 minus tan alpha tan theta. And you would know if alpha plus theta has to be pi by 2, tan alpha into tan theta has to be 1. And we know value of tan alpha is equal to tan theta by 2, which gives you tan square theta is equal to 2, or theta has to be equal to tan inverse root 2. When theta satisfies this condition, the field at point B will be perpendicular to the dipole vector. In other words, if I say, suppose I draw a line from here. I have drawn a line at angle theta here. How the field lines at this line will cross this radial vector? What is the nature of field lines at any point crossing this line here? Can you think of how the field lines will cross this radial vector, which is making angle theta satisfying this condition? How
vertically upwards.
Field lines will be perpendicular and going upwards. So everywhere on this line, that's what it means. Anywhere on this line which is making a particular angle, the field is vertically upwards. So all lines field has to be everywhere, it has to go upwards, not only one point. Okay. Find potential on dipole's axis and equatorial axis. We have done that part as well. Similar way, just recall that point. What is this? Just go through. On the positive side, what are the potential here? Advay, what are the potential at this point? If we take a point on the axis of the dipole at a distance x, what are the potential? Advay? No response. Akul? What is the potential at a point on the axis of a dipole?
So KQ by X minus T.
No, we are talking about a dipole. So moment you take a type of dipole, you should use the term P, which is a dipole moment.
KP by wait, no.
That's you should have remembered it. You have not revised these things properly. Is it not? Is this understanding? No, you should have known that part. Okay, you have not done. Shweta, can you tell me what is the field on the axis of a, sorry, what is the potential on the axis of a dipole at a distance x? You don't know, we forgot that one. Bhagishri, what is the potential on the axis of a dipole?
Sir, minus kp by x square plus kp by x.
No, not correct. Nitya?
Kp by x square.
Do you all see screen? Is it screen visible or not? Nitya?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it's there. So some of you looking at this, so what we notice, see why this point, can you give a logical reason why on the positive side potential is positive? Why on this side potential is negative? Nitya, can you give an explanation why is that so? Why the potential on positive x-axis side is positive and why the potential on the negative x-axis side is negative?
So like on the negative side, the negative charge is more closer to the point, right, sir?
So if two charges are equal, which will have higher magnitude of potential? The charge which is nearer. Any point on the positive axis, which charge is nearer? Positive charge is nearer. So potential due to positive charge is greater. Positive charge creates positive potential, negative charge creates negative potential. But which will dominate? Since positive charge is nearer, this will dominate. Anywhere on this side, potential will be positive. Anywhere on this side, on the negative axis, which charge is nearer? Everywhere on the negative axis, minus q is nearer. Hence, what is the net sign of the potential? Net sign of the point will become negative. And that's what we need to keep in mind. We calculate potential due to each charge separately. These are the terms, kq by the distance. And when we simplify, what is the simplification? What is the simplifying assumptions we make? Simplifying assumption we make, the distance of the point where potential is being calculated is much larger than the size of the dipole. In that case, I can write potential as kp by x square. Does it make sense why we have x square in the denominator and why we had x cube in case of potential, in case of field? In case of potential, yes, we multiply by what is potential? Minus E dot delta R. So there's an additional length term in the numerator. That's why there's one lower order term in the denominator for length dimension, kp by x square. Similar mirror point, if I take a mirror image here, it will have same value but the negative side. Can we say the potential on the equatorial axis for dipole is zero? Potential on equatorial axis of dipole is zero.
Yes,
Abhirup,
sir.
would you like to explain why it is a zero? Can you give me a reason? What is equatorial axis here? If I take x and y axis here, x and y axis are normal convention. What is the equatorial axis? Equatorial axis, and what is equatorial plane? Can you also define what is equatorial plane here?
YZ plane.
YZ plane is equatorial plane. And there's another way can I define YZ plane?
X equals 0.
Yeah, x equal to 0. And so if I take a plane, see if I take a plane perpendicular to the plane of the drawing, and it is called equatorial plane. Equatorial plane, everywhere potential is 0. Why is that
because
so?
distance from both the charges are equal and they're opposite signs.
So can we also say if you have an equatorial plane, on the positive side of the equatorial plane, any point on the positive side of the equatorial plane, potential will be positive. Anything on the negative side, potential equatorial plane, potential will be negative. Will that be true? If I take any point in the space which has x coordinate positive, potential will be positive. If I take any point in the space which has x coordinate negative, potential will be negative. If the charge, if the dipole is placed at the origin directed along x-axis. Pritam, have you understood this point? Pritam? Tejas?
Yes, sir.
You understood this point?
Yes, sir. I understood what you're asking, but I don't know the answer for that thing, sir.
No, but no, just know what I said. Have you understood? If I take this, how is the dipole placed here? In this case, I will take the dipole is placed at the origin, directed towards positive x-axis. If I take a general point, there's a general point. Only thing I know about the general point can have x coordinate, y coordinate, z coordinate.
Yes.
Only thing I know about general point is x coordinate is positive. What will be the sign of potential at that point? Will it be positive, negative, or unknown? If I take any point which has on this plane divides the whole space in two parts, the right part and the left part. Any place on the right hand side, the point will be closer to the positive charge compared to its distance from the negative charge. If it is closer to the positive charge, potential sign will be dictated by this positive charge. It will be positive. Okay.
Yes.
So small point in the region x is equal to greater than 0, it will have positive potential or points in the space. And we should remember this point also. Okay. Similar way, can we find potential at point B? The way we found the field, can we find the potential at point B? We know the potential on the axis of dipole. We know the potential on the equatorial axis. Potential on the equatorial axis is 0. Can we find potential at general point B in terms of r theta, r being the distance from the center of dipole, theta is the angle it makes with the dipole vector. Can we find the potential?
Theta by r square.
Pretty simple. What we have done is resolve into two components. What are two components we take here? One component is p cos theta. P cos theta is a radial component. Now the point is lying on the axis of dipole. I should know the formula of potential on the axis of dipole. Kevin, what is the formula for potential on the axis of dipole? Positive side. And all of you should respond quickly. You should learn how to mute and unmute and respond quickly. Kevin, what is the formula for potential?
Kp by r square.
Kp by
R square.
R square. So what is P here? We had which component? P is not P here. P is which component? We have taken the radial component. The component is along the direction of OP. P cos theta. So I'll place of P, I'll substitute P cos theta, and the distance is R, so Kp cos theta by R square. That's the potential. The sign will depend on the cos theta. When cos theta is positive, this term will be positive. When cos theta is negative, this term will be negative. And similarly, we take the perpendicular component. This is P sin theta. So in this case also, where's the point lying? Point is lying on the equatorial axis. What is the potential on the equatorial axis or equatorial plane? Potential is 0. So this will create 0 potential. So what is the resultant potential? This only becomes the resultant potential. So what we understand here, if I take a point B, which is lying neither on the axis nor on the equatorial axis, but its distance is r from the center, angle made is theta, potential at that point will be equal to k into P cos theta by R square. Is there any concept involved here? Nothing, no concept involved. Simple method. If you understand very basic things, you should be able to calculate potential also easily. Okay. So potential is which area the potential is positive? The potential is positive when theta is 0 to pi by 2. Why the potential is positive? Sorry, the potential is positive when theta is minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. Why I'm saying so? Can you give me a reason why potential is positive when theta is equal to minus pi by 2 to theta is in the range of minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2? Disha, can you give me a reason?
The cos will be positive.
Cos will be positive. As simple as that. What we are discussing in terms of positive side of the space, same thing is valid in terms of cos theta also. Okay. Now, can we apply this concept here and find the point where potential is 0? Now, two dipoles are there. Dipole P is pointing towards plus x-axis. Other dipole moment 4P is placed at D0 on axis pointing towards negative x-axis. Can we find the point on the x-axis where the potential is 0? All of you try and solve this question. Very simple, is based on one single formula, and we should know on the positive side potential is positive, on the back side of dipole it is negative. Can we find an answer for this question quickly? Chandra Kaushik, you have an answer? Or is from previous one? Okay, all of you please have solve this one and get an answer. Good. So some of you have an answer, but Anish, do you have an answer? Anish. Anish? Huh? Can you solve, Anish, or you're not sure how to solve this question?
I'm solving.
No, it should not take so long. But Anish, can you tell me? So since I am trying to find the point on the x-axis, I already told you don't have to look elsewhere. Now, Anish, can you tell me there are three possible regions? This is one region.
Yes.
This is between x less than 0. X is between 0 to d, and x is greater than d. Tell me which area in this region here, x is less than 0.
Yes.
Potential due to P, is it positive or negative?
Yes. Negative.
Negative. And potential due to 4P, positive or negative?
Due to 4P, negative.
Potential in the region x less than 0. Which
Yeah,
region are we talking about? This region.
Yeah.
In this region, P will create negative potential.
Yeah.
4P will create positive potential. Is that clear or not clear in your mind?
Yes, sir.
Clear?
Yes, sir.
Similar way, can you tell me? Okay, so you understood now. Okay, next one. Shravani?
Yes, sir.
Now let me take a region. X is between 0 to d. Which is region? This is between 0 to d. In this region, the potential will be due to P also, potential due to 4P. Which one will be positive? Which one will be negative? Can you tell me? Which dipole will create a positive potential in the region X varying from 0 to d?
4P.
It is in front of P. Any point in this region, 4P will create positive. How about this point P?
Negative, sir.
Okay, tell me reason why it is negative. Why P will create negative potential anywhere in its front on its axis?
Achha, no, sir. Positive only.
Positive. So what we find, this region both will create positive potential. Can it become 0 in that case? No, it cannot become 0. In this region, who creates positive? 4P creates positive, P creates negative. How about this region here? All you understood now? This region which creates positive potential, which creates negative potential here? Shravani, which one kept in this region? Which dipole will create positive potential? In this region, what is the region? I can also define this region as x greater than d. This region, which will create positive potential? 4P will create negative. Because with respect to force P, this point is
Backward.
negative side is of dipole.
Yes.
And this side is, this will create plus.
Positive.
The first thing you need to know. So where would the potential be 0? Potential will be 0 when one is positive, one is negative. Otherwise, it cannot be 0. And it has to be nearer to the smaller dipole. Why it has to be nearer to the smaller dipole? We have done in case of charge also. So the point has to come in this region. The first thing you need to understand, the point where potential is 0 will be found in which region? X less than 0. That's the region we can find. Dipole should have positive potential, others should have negative potential. In the region between two dipoles, both dipoles have positive potential, it cannot be. So where would the point be 0? It will be 0 somewhere at a distance of x minus x is the point. Can we calculate the distance x now? Can we write the formula? So we'll write the potential due to P at a point minus x. and write the potential due to 4P. Can you all of you write an expression? What is the formula? K times the dipole moment divided by square of the distance. Positive, it is in the front of the dipole moment, and negative is in the back side of dipole moment. So first one, when I write the potential due to P bar, I'll write what is the expression I'll write? Minus of K into P divided by square of the distance. The minus have come because it is on the negative side of the dipole. Plus K into 4P. Why the 4P? The dipole moment is 4P. Divided by square of the distance. Plus sign is because it is in front. The distance is, this distance is D, and this distance is X. D plus X whole square. How do you get here? D get equal to minus D. Okay, I hope all of you understood. Okay. This is something additional exercise. Those who are interested may solve. How many points are possible with zero potential? Need not necessarily be on the axis. Think of infinite points are there which will have zero potential. Now I come back to two more points. There's something called torque and couple, which you have done in the first year, but again I'll quickly revise some part of torque and couple. You record torque of a force about an axis perpendicular to the plane of drawing and passing through origin. Suppose I want to find torque about an axis passing through O, perpendicular to the plane of drawing. So there are two ways of finding torque. One is R cross F, both are given in vector form, but these are simpler cases. We don't use R cross F. We use force multiplied by lever arm. If you recall that one, that's what we are going to do. I'll revise that part because in case of dipole also, the concept of torque and couple will come. So we calculate torque in terms of magnitude and direction separately. For calculation of magnitude, two things are important: line of action of force and point O. What is point O? Point O is where the axis intersects the plane of the drawing. So axis is perpendicular to the plane of the figure passing through point O. So magnitude of torque of a force is magnitude of force multiplied by perpendicular distance of line from point. Which line? Line of action of force. So it is line is involved, point is involved. Finding perpendicular distance of a point from line should not be difficult. If you can find out perpendicular distance, you can find torque. It should not be tough. That's the method, simpler method we use to find magnitude. And we find direction in terms of clockwise and anti-clockwise. If the force is trying to rotate in a clockwise, we take as negative value, minus K cap. If it is trying to rotate in a clockwise, anti-clockwise, we take it as positive value. Let's take example. First, let's calculate. We have drawn, there's a force acting at which point? Force is acting at point AB. Coordinates of this point is AB. So any force we could resolve into two components, Fx and Fy. What is the torque due to force X component of force about point O? Can you all calculate? Magnitude. So what we need to do, we have to, two things we have to come out of our mind. One, line of action of the force. This is the line of action of force, and this is the point. So we need to multiply the magnitude of force by perpendicular distance. Perpendicular distance of what? Of this point O from the line of action of the force. Can you all mark this line of action of force? So even if it is not drawn, I can extend the force, and actually I can translate the force also. If I shift the force Fx anywhere on the line of action of force, the torque does not change. So what is this perpendicular distance? I guess all of you can figure out. What is this perpendicular distance? Is equal to y coordinate. So torque due to X component will be Fx into B. Why I have put the minus sign here? This torque is tending to rotate it in a clockwise direction, perpendicular to plane. Similar way, can you also find out torque due to Y component? Again, what I need to do, I need to think of line and a point. Those who are having little difficulty in calculation of torque, which is the line of the action of force? It's the line of action of the force. So I have to find the distance of the line from point P. What is the distance? Now the force is vertical. The distance will be along the horizontal. What is horizontal here? X coordinate. So perpendicular distance is A. So torque will be equal to, magnitude will be equal to magnitude of force into perpendicular distance A. In the direction, this force is tending to rotate in an anti-clockwise direction. Hence, this is taken as positive. I hope all of you recall. And this is how we calculate torque. I have explained once, nothing complicated in that. anybody who wants me to explain again, I'll explain again if you want me. Else, pay attention to what it is. There's absolutely nothing complicated in finding torque. It's magnitude as well as direction. Anybody who wants me to explain this point again, please raise your hand, or else I'll move on. And if I move on, I expect everyone to know how to calculate. It is just line and a point, perpendicular distance of the line from the point. Should not be tough. None of you, all are clear? Anvita, are you clear?
Yes, sir.
Is the distance of a point from a line. Which line? Line of action or force. Where does the point come from? Axis about which torque has to be calculated. So cannot be tough. You should be able to calculate. That's what torque is. What if I give a new point? I'd say no, now don't calculate torque about O, calculate torque about point P. Can you all calculate torque about point P?
Yes, sir.
Gayatri, can you calculate torque about point P? Gayatri. What is the torque due to X component? Torque due to X component, the perpendicular, since the point lies on the line, perpendicular distance is 0. X component will not create any torque. Y component is acting in the vertical direction, so horizontal distance remains same. So torque due to Y component remains same, X component becomes 0. So what we understood, the torque of a force depends on the axis also. If we change the axis, the torque will change. So whenever we talk about a torque, we need to define the axis about which the torque has to be calculated. Without defining the axis, the torque normally has no meaning. So far we are okay. Now we come to a special kind of forces. Those forces are called couple. Torque due to pair of, what is couple? It's a non-collinear. They are not acting along the same line, but coplanar. Equal and opposite forces are called couple. So you see two forces here, two forces. One is acting in the positive X direction, other is acting along the negative X direction. This is acting at a point X1, Y1. This is acting at a point of action is X2, Y2. They form a couple because they're equal and opposite in the direction, and they are not collinear. There's a special property of the couple which we'll come to, and that's why I'm again doing this point again, what we had done first here. The forces are equal magnitude of F and acting in the direction opposite to each other. Find torque about an axis passing through O. Can we find the torque of these two forces about point O? So I have to find torque of this plus torque of this. About which point? About point O. Can you all calculate torque about point O? I give a couple of minutes. See how many of you can calculate the torque about point O. Answer will come in terms of F and X1, Y1 kind of thing. What is torque of these two forces put together? Resultant torque about point O. And here I'm just using plus minus sign is enough. Plus sign indicates it is outside the plane of the drawing. Negative sign indicates into the plane of the drawing. So can we calculate torque here? As soon as you finish, those who are clear, please raise your hand. Grishma, can you calculate torque here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You are clear?
Yes, sir.
It's just a bit okay. So what is the torque of first force acting at X1, Y1? Can you tell me what is the torque? First of all, will it be positive or negative?
Positive.
No. This force, which way it is trying to rotate? Suppose
Sorry,
which way it is
negative.
tending? Actually negative. This is tending to rotate in the clockwise fashion. Suppose there's a rod here, the rod will rotate in the clockwise direction, negative. And how do you find its magnitude? What is the perpendicular distance of line of action of force from the origin?
Y1.
Y1. If force is horizontal, distance is measured along the vertical direction, y coordinate. So it is easy for torque of F force acting at X1, Y1 equal to minus F into Y1 K cap. Similarly, what is the torque? Okay. Other thing what I could have done, I could have translated this force. See basically what I can do, I can move this force anywhere on the line of action of the force. distance. If I translate this force, I can visualize this force acting at this point. And if I take it acting at this point, understanding the direction also becomes easy. Understanding perpendicular distance also becomes easy. So if you want, you can translate the force on its line of action. The torque does not change. I hope all of you understood this point. What we have done, this point I can shift here. Which point? Same line of action. Similarly, can we calculate torque due to F2? Sorry, torque due to force F acting at point x2, y2. Again, similar way, I can shift this force here. If I shift this force here, this force is acting in the horizontal direction. Perpendicular distance will be equal to y coordinate. It will be F(y2) k cap. So what I find resultant torque, if I add this up with sign, F into y2 minus y1. What is y2 minus y1? y2 minus 1 is actually nothing but perpendicular distance between two forces. If they are parallel but not collinear, there's a constant perpendicular distance. So torque of a couple is equal to magnitude of force multiplied by perpendicular distance between them. Is it complicated? Torque, this is special. Okay, so we have calculated torque about 0.2. What is special about this point? Suppose I shift this axis. If I calculate torque due to this couple for any general point P, I'm not doing it now, but those who are interested can do that. If I take general point P, X, Y, again, if we calculate the torque about these two forces about point P, we'll find the torque comes same. So what do we conclude from this point? Torque of couple about O is same as torque of couple about point P, any general point P. It means normally the torque of a force depends on axis of rotation, but in case of couple is independent of axis. I don't have to define an axis. For a couple, any point we take, whichever point we take the axis about, the torque would come same. So we can say what is the torque? A torque of a force has no meaning. Torque of a force, we have to define an axis. But torque of a couple, no axis need to be defined. Torque of a couple is equal to magnitude of force multiplied by perpendicular distance. Is independent of choice of axis. Resultant torque will remain same. Is independent of axis of about this torque has to be calculated.
Sir,
Yes.
what about the sign, sir?
What about?
The sign,
Yes.
like it's positive or negative.
You see, when you look at this torque, this is if I translate, this is how the torque looks like. So suppose this rod connecting, it is acting on a rod. Which way the rod will rotate? It's like driving wheel. So when you drive the wheel,
Clockwise.
actually what are you doing when you're driving a wheel? When you rotate a driving wheel, are you applying a torque or not?
Yes, sir.
So suppose you want to turn the wheel like this. What I'm doing, I'm applying this force downward, this force upwards. Which way it is rotating the wheel now? It is rotating the wheel in the clockwise direction.
Yes.
So you can always imagine. So first thing you understood, to make it easier, you can always translate the forces. Sometimes translation of forces makes easy. Translate, shift anywhere on the line of action of the force, I can do the translation. And which way it is trying to rotate, it doesn't matter. It will, this is this, which direction it is, this acting like this. Which it is rotating in anti-clockwise. Positive,
Yes.
negative, this one is positive. That's why the term here also comes positive. See, the point should sink in your mind at one go. It's nothing complicated. What is result for a couple? I hope all of you understood what does couple mean. Second point, what you understood, couple torque is independent of choice of axis. But what is the torque equal to? Torque is equal to force multiplied by perpendicular distance. Is finding perpendicular distance complicated in terms of figure? No, it is not complicated. And if clockwise, anti-clockwise, think of it like a rotating wheel. Which way are we turning? Because when we rotate a driving wheel, actually we are applying a torque. When you apply a torque, actually, are we applying a net force in any particular direction? What is the net force when you apply a couple? Net force is zero. Because both forces are equal and opposite. But still, it doesn't create any translation motion. It creates only rotational motion. And when we tighten, where else we come across the torque? When you use a tighten a nut, bolt, and there also we come across those two torque kind of thing. Okay. So this is kind of, I'm revising what the torque is. Because something we had done in the first year, you might have forgotten. So some simple application of torque is required in this topic and some future topics as well. Torque of a couple of torque. Then we find the torque of the figure. Here in the figure, I've shown two forces acting. Are they forming a couple? Yes, they are forming a couple because both have same magnitude. Both are acting in the opposite direction. Can we find the torque of this couple? All of you give it a try. Samhita? Samhita? Gayatri? Okay. Akshat?
Sir.
Akshat, can you calculate torque due to this couple here?
So 2 minutes.
Huh?
Can I take 2 minutes?
No, actually, it doesn't need 2 minutes. It's pretty simple. See, this is something. Can you draw a line here? See, what do you say? Can we move this force around here? See, this is a line here. There's another line here. What is this line here? Can you define this line here? You have done enough mathematics. Can you define what is this line here? What is this line? This top force. Can you define this equation of the line here? Line along which this force is acting? Akshat?
No, sir.
No. That line is y is equal to 4. Is that not?
Yes, sir.
This line is what? Parallel to
Y is
x-axis.
equals
Y
to
is equal to 4. This y is equal to -2.
Yeah,
What is the
yeah.
distance between those two lines? Tell me.
4 and 6.
6. So perpendicular distance is 6. So what is torque? Torque is equal
Yes,
to,
sir,
so
6.
otherwise what I could have done, I could use translation property. If I am doubt, what I can do, I can shift the forces along this line. That's the distance we need to find. Is that difficult? How much time should I take it?
30 seconds or 20
30
seconds.
seconds. No, is it not? So which part is complicated? You have to convince your mind first that it is not complicated. It's simple. It's 6. But if which way it is trying to rotate, suppose it's a wheel, we apply forces like this. Is it clockwise or anti-clockwise?
Clockwise.
Clockwise. That's why the minus sign. So magnitude is 6 into F, minus is the direction, and we get the torque. It's not difficult at all. Everybody,
Yes, sir.
rest of the people also think it's not difficult at all. You understood what he had done? Even though they are not acting this, we can extend the line here. We just need to find and forces horizontal, vertical distance. It forces vertical, horizontal distance. So there is no complication. It's a simple thing. And all of you mentally you should be convinced I can easily find it. Right? So finding torque is easy. Okay. How about work done by a torque? We know force produces displacement. If force and displacement are both are involved, it will result in work done. But even torque and angular displacement also results in work done. Let's see how. I think somebody has the answer. So let's imagine what is this? All of you understand this is a pivot. The rod is pivoted about a point. Is something like this. Rod is pivoted about a point. And if you apply force like this, it can move something like this. You can imagine, or you can try taking a scale. You make a hole around this anything, and you apply force. So if I apply force, the displacement takes place. You know which is the axis of rotation, or is the axis of rotation. So if you apply force, this is what the figure indicates. Let's see what we can perform here. A rod of length R is pivoted about O. It's acted upon a force F as shown. What happens if the rod will not undergo linear displacement? Rod will undergo angular displacement. Let's assume it undergoes angular displacement d theta. And when you talk of angular displacement, this direction, anti-clockwise you take as positive, clockwise you take as negative. So we are talking about positive displacement. How the rod has been displaced by a small distance d theta. When the rod undergoes displacement d theta, will force F do any work? What is the force work done by force F here? This is displacement, angular displacement.
F into RD theta.
F into RD theta. Work done will equal to F into displacement at the point of application. This displacement will equal to F into RD theta. And I am not writing any radial component. Why I am not writing radial component? Even if radial component is acting, that would not have done any work. So I am ignoring radial component. I am only writing the tangential component. So can we express this one? This is work done, F into R into d theta. Can I write this expression in terms of torque and d theta?
Tau d theta.
Tau d theta. F and R is nothing but torque. So the equivalent of F dot dx is tau into d theta. So any torque, when you apply torque, when you rotating wheel, we apply torque. Do we do any work? Actually, you are doing work. The work we do is equal to torque which you apply and into angular displacement. So work done, tau into d theta. Positive when d theta is in the same sense as the torque. If the torque is clockwise, displacement also clockwise, work done is positive. If torque is applying in the clockwise direction, but displacement in the opposite direction, because some other torque also might be acting. In that case, work done is negative. Work done is positive when torque and angular displacement are in the same sense, and it is negative when they're in the opposite sense. Okay. So I think, so I'll do it very quickly. You can just think of it. There's a dipole here. And dipole plus Q charge minus Q charge. Dipole need not be at the atomic level. We can create a dipole. Suppose we take a rod, neutral rod, we attach a positive charge at one end, negative charge at one end, it will act like a dipole. So just say it's a dipole. What will happen if there's a uniform electric field acting at angle theta? So, you know, what is the angle theta here? Angle theta is angle between two vectors. Which are the two vectors involved here? One vector is dipole moment vector, other is field vector. Angle between them is theta. What will happen if we apply a field like this? What forces will act on the dipole? Can you all think of forces acting on the dipole?
Yes, sir.
Yes, because force acting on any charge is charged into electric field. So each of the two charges will experience force QE and minus QE. Positive charge will experience a force in the direction of field, and negative charge will experience a force opposite to direction of field. Both charges, both forces will be of equal magnitude and opposite in direction. So what would these two forces result in?
Sir, the sin theta components of both the forces will cause torque, right, sir?
Okay. See, first thing what you know, first forget about sin theta. What we discussed in the previous slide, are they forming a couple?
Yes, sir.
They are forming a couple. They are two equal and opposite forces. If couples are if it forms a couple, first of all, torque due to these two forces independent of choice of axis. I don't have to define an axis. Whichever axis I calculate the torque due to these two forces which are coupled is same. And what is the torque equal to? Force multiplied by perpendicular distance between them. As we have seen earlier also, if we translate what is the perpendicular distance, this is the perpendicular distance. So what is the torque it applies? Torque is equal to force QE into the perpendicular distance. That's what we are going to do tomorrow. So dipole placed in a uniform electric field will experience a torque. That's what we'll do tomorrow. Okay, so I'll stop here and just think it over, and we'll continue from here onwards tomorrow. And those who are not getting good marks, or at least all those people who have less than 60 odd marks, please come and join in the evening class today, dot session. Okay. Okay, I'll stop here.